Vision loses or gets reduced. Similarly, we go on eating and eating and eating. The tongue as well as the teeth both get fatigued and they become worn out. So are the objects enjoying and experiencing us, or we are enjoying? Bhartrhari says, we have never enjoyed the world or the objects. They have exhausted us. Tapo na taptam vayameva taptaha. We have not really performed any austerity. The word used is taptaha. In the name of austerity, we have not undergone any heat of activity. On the other hand, we ourselves have been heated up in the name of austerity. So the austerity measure we have not acquired in full. On the other hand, in the name of austerity, we have been exhausted, that is all. Kalo nayata vayameva yata. We always count the number of days. So many days, so many years, so many decades, etc. Has time really passed, or we ourselves are passing? We really are passing. Time is not passing. Trishna na jirna vayameva jirna. Trishna, our greed, our over-possessiveness, that has never undergone any aging. On the other hand, our own body and our own mind, they age off. So everyone born in this world is exhausted by the world of objects. Nobody has been able to enjoy the objects and exhaust them. This is the summary position. Bhogana bhukta vayameva bhuktaha tapo na taptam vayameva taptaha kalo na yata vayameva yata trishna na jirna vayameva jirna. He has written one more verse which is very beautiful. Sometimes in my public lectures, I recite this verse and explain as the introductory statement. Adityasya gata gatairaharaha samkshiyate jivitam vyaparair bahukarya bhara gurubhihi kalo na vijnayate jnatva janma jara vibhatti maranam trasascha pītva mohamayīm pramadamadiram unmatta bhūtam jagad. What a beautiful statement. You know, you should recite all these things. That itself is a culture. And it will generate so much of inner qualities. And what qualities? Qualities of forbearance, qualities of stability. That quality by virtue of which you will be able to assimilate any kind of an impact from this world, from any event, occurrence, accident or incident. Nothing should touch us to the quick. Everything should be on the surface level. Our deeper personality should remain ever insulated. You must have a mental, spiritual armor to put on and live and move in this world. Now these are the verses which will create and bestow upon you this wonderful spiritual armor. Adityasya gata gatairaharaha samkshiyate jivitam. He says, Adityasya gata gataihi. Aditya means Surya, the sun. Gata gataihi. Early in the morning he comes up, and late in the evening he goes up. He goes out. So by the gata and the agata, gata agata means coming and going of the sun. Aharaha, day after day. Samkshiyate jivitam. Sun rises at a great distance on the sky. He seems to be traveling and dips down into the sea. Then what happens? Samkshiyate jividam. One day of our life is gone. With one rising and setting of the sun, one day of our life of 90 years gone. We are thinking we are growing. Is there any greater ignorance and delusion? Samkshiyate jividam. So the sun by rising and setting is actually wearing and tearing our life. Vyaparaihi bahukarya bhara gurubihi kalo na vijnayate. Every day we are busy with several activities. And the weight of so many activities, so much of a pressure in us. And we are busy. I have completed this, there is no time. We start running to the market, to the professional center, come back, then go to the friend's house. Meanwhile, attend a number of telephone calls, answer so many people. Some conversations make us afflicted, some make us cheerful. Meanwhile, letters, emails, so many things. What is this? Vyaparair bahukarya bhara gurubihi. Under the weight and pressure of so many activities and interactions of the day, kalo na vijnayate. The passage of time is never known or recognized. Never known or recognized. Kalo na vijnayate. Jnatva janma jara vipatti maranam trasascha notpadyate. Jnatva, knowing very well, janma jara vipatti maranam. People are getting born repeatedly. They are growing and they become old age. They become aged. Our skin becomes wrinkled. Hair becomes grey. Our organs become more and more weak. Vipatti maranam. A number of accidents, unforeseen developments also take place in life. On our own roads, by our own vehicles, operating under our own traffic laws, traffic rules. I am told 1.53 lakhs of people are dying every month on Indian roads. What do you say about it? But the flair for travel, can we avoid road traffic? Can we sit at home? Either we go on our own vehicles or we go in public vehicles. We cannot always be walking. Some distance we will walk. So we have to use the road. But these roads are killing 1.53 lakhs of people every month. How much is it? About 18 lakhs every year. I think it is 1.3. About 15 lakhs of people are dying on our roads. Jnatva janma jara vipatti maranam. How many people are dying due to land traffic, water traffic and air traffic? All the three you calculate. A number of people die on the trains also. Trasascha notpadyate. Even then, there is no real fear in the mind of the human. Somehow it does not arise. What is the reason? So he is quoting three instances. By the rising and the setting sun, one day he is exhausted. Our age is robbed. With so many activities, domestic, professional, societal and otherwise, we are so busy that the passage of time is never recognized or known. Birth, death, old age, accident, all these surrounding us from all quarters, we are not able to have any sense of fear and caution. What is the reason? Pitva mohamayim pramadamadiram unmatta bhutam jagad. I can only say, Bhartrhari says, the whole world is under a delusion. Under a simple, widespread delusion. What is the reason? Mohamayim pramadamadiram pitva unmatta bhutam. All of them have drunk deeply what? Moha madira, the liquor of moha, delusion. They have drunk very heavily. Unmatta bhutam jagad. Under that influence, they are all become almost mad. Unmatta bhutam. They have forgotten their sense. They have forgotten their respectability. And they are behaving like subhuman beings. Adityasya gata gatairaharaha samkshiyate jeevitam vyaparair bahukarya bhara gurubihi kalo na vijnayate jnatva janma jara vipatti maranam त्रासश्च नोत्पद्यते पीत्वा मोहमयीं प्रमादमदिराम् उन्मत्तभूतं जगत्. Prabuddha is answering. Karmanyarabhamananam dukkhahatyai sukhayaja pashyet pagaviparyasam mithuni charinam nrinam. This Srimad Bhagavata is a wonderful text. I don't know whether it gives you a sense of humor. The words and descriptions, adjectives, etc., which they employ to bring about so many values, messages, and the like, they are simply amazing. Karmanya arabhamananam dukkhahatyai sukhayacha. Various types of activities they design, they take up. They pursue with a lot of rigidity and tenacity. What for? Dukkhahatyai. To exterminate dukkha, suffering, grief. Sukhayacha. To generate comfort, happiness and contentment. So the purpose of all our activities and endeavor is only to remove grief and to generate happiness. Then what happens? Pashyet pagaviparyasam. Then what is actually happening? Pagaviparyasam. The reverse is happening. Dukkha increases and sukha reduces. Mithuni charinam nrinam. And so far as human beings are concerned, they make their effort, not alone. Mithuni charinam, in a conjugal manner. Every man is coupled with a woman, every woman is coupled with a man, and both of them are parenting the children. It's not one man doing, two people doing, and they are always walking together, thinking together, acting together, in spite of this conjugal attempt, nature of their life. Karmanya arabhamananam dukkhahatyai sukhayaja pashyet pagaviparyasam mithuni charinam nrinam. The human being is after all intelligent. He is very rational. He is quite bold. He is very perceptive. He can design matters. You know, we have so many research centers. What are they supposed to do? Everything good, plan. How much of research is going on in every walk of length? In spite of this research-mindedness, we have caused global warming here. You mean to say it has been for no reason? Of all the creatures living upon the earth, the human alone can interfere with nature and nature's harmony. Nobody else. The animals will not spoil nature. The trees and plants will not spoil nature. The water creatures will not. Only the human of the earth will be able to cause damage to the earth, its solidarity and balance. And that is what we have done. Are we lacking in intelligence? No. We have enough of intelligence. But the intelligence has not been rightfully and optimally used. That is our problem. Nityarditena vittena durlabhena atmamrityuna griha apatya aptapashubhihi ka pridhihi sadhitaischalaihi. I think all of you are householders. Every one of you should listen to these statements. Borrowing ears. A pair of ears will not be sufficient. Borrow a few ears and listen to these statements. Nityarditena vittena durlabhena atmamrityuna griha apatya aptapashubhihi ka pridhihi sadhitaihi chalaihi. You know, right in the beginning, the Bhagavata author says that Dharma projhita kaidavotra paramo nirmatsaranam sadam. I am explaining the dharma, the righteous conduct of human beings, in a very open, unreserved manner, like peeling the skin of a plantain. So clearly I am saying. So that is very specific of Srimad Bhagavatam. Nitya arditena vittena durlabhena Atma Mrityuna. In the world, particularly now, money is given a lot of importance. Recently, in the Padmanabha Swami temple in Trivandrum in Kerala, the capital of Kerala, a few storerooms were open. They were called treasure houses. They were open by virtue of an order from the Supreme Court. And they found so much of wealth, gold and other things kept there. Many things. Can you imagine? This temple was under the Travancore rulers. And they had so much of wealth. When you have excess wealth, what will you do? You will not be a spendthrift. Certainly not. We cannot be lavish. So whatever excess wealth they had, they made an offer to the Padmanabha Swami, means the Lord Ananta Padmanabha, he is called. Actually, in Trivandrum, there is a temple of Padmanabha Swami, he is called. Lord Padmanabha. There are 3 doors. Only when you see the Lord through the 3 doors, you will be able to see him. Because it is lying on that snake, that kind of a pose. So you cannot see from one door. The door has to be a small. So it's quite long, 18 feet or so long. So there is one door to see the head portion, another to see the middle portion, the stomach, another to see the feet portion. Such a big Lord. So there are so many ornaments and other things given to him. Gold garland. Length is about 18 feet. Can you imagine? Now it comes to thousands and thousands and thousands of crores of rupees worth. Why I am mentioning to you, all those were given primarily by the rulers. They could have been spendthrifts and lavishly spend the money. They did not. Whenever they had excess wealth, or anybody has excess wealth, do not spend more. Spend frugally, moderately, as much as you need. But never be lavish in your spending. And the rest of it should be preserved. In what manner could we preserve it in olden times? Only in the form of gold. So all the gold were stored in special stone chambers. 1, 2, 3, 4, all of them were there. I think any temple here or anywhere else, either in Kerala or anywhere else you will find, whenever it is associated with a Raja, there will be such treasures here. Because the Raja is one who can have it, who used to have it. And whenever there was excess wealth, they always kept it as a reserve for posterity. This is called an Ikshepa, a special reserved category. Without spending, they are using it. It is meant for the successors to open and use it for whatever right purpose it is meant for. This is what we should do. Why I am mentioning it? Nityarditena vittena. Our wealth is constantly arditena, afflicted by the wealth. One industrialist in Delhi told me, Swamiji, he was running a very good industry in Delhi and exports were being made. After some time, one day he told me, Swamiji, my son has overtaken me. And in a few years, the whole industry was closed. So there is fear from everybody. To preserve it is very difficult. To spend it also is not easy. And the children will come, catch hold of your cheek and then say, no, give me this, give me that. So it is not easy. Nityarditena, constantly afflicting with the wealth. Durlabhena atma mrityuna. He describes it as a mrityu of the atma. If you have wealth, understand that your life is in danger. Now the same wealth is being protected by a 3-tier or a 4-tier security by the government. Because people have come to know of it. It's not safe. It is not safe. So wealth is not easy to look after. Atma mrityuna, durlabhena. It is very difficult to get. Griha, apatya, aptapashubhihi. What are you acquiring? A house to live. You have children and you have friends and you have animals like cows, maybe dogs, elephants, etc. Ka pridihi sadhitaischalaihi. By virtue of all these possessions, which are fleeting, transitory and ephemeral, what kind of a contentment you will have? You cannot have a contentment. Nityardidena vittena durlabhena atmamrityuna grihapatya aptapashubhihi ka pridihi sadhitaischalaihi evam logam param vidyat nashwaram karma nirmidam. Are you listening to me, viewers? This is what Prabuddha tells Nimi Chakravarti. Chakravarti means what? He was not an ordinary man, very well educated, very powerful, very resourceful, maybe very kind-hearted, good qualities also. Such a person is being spoken to by one of the yogis, Prabuddha by name. Evam logam param vidyat nashwaram karma nirmidam sadulyadishayadvamsam yatha mandalavartinam. Evam logam param vidyat. This is the nature of the world in which we live. If you want to live resourcefully, you must acquire wealth. The moment you are able to acquire wealth, it becomes a source for affliction, torment, different types of affectation. Param vidyat nashwaram karma nirmidam. Not only this world, the other world also. What is the other world? Heavenly world, like Indraloka, Chandraloka, etc., Prajapati Loka. Sadulya adishayadvamsam yatha mandalavartinam. Sadulya adishayadvamsam. Are you hearing me? Wonderful evaluation. Our Vedas give us a number of prescriptions to perform, to conduct a variety of rituals. All these rituals are supposed to give you different rewards after the fall of your body. But Srimad Bhagavatam says all are comparable. These rewards promised by the Vedas are comparable and transcendable. Satulyadishayadvamsam yatha mandalavartinam. It is just like a king having a certain territory under him. That kingdom is compared to another kingdom which is bigger. You know the place where I am sitting now, Trichy, the cultural capital of Kerala, it was supposed to be part of a small state called Cochin. Our neighboring state, Travancore, was much bigger than Cochin. And compared to the British Malabar and other places, they are still bigger. So it is always comparable, one exceeding another person. The Indra Padavi, the abode of Indra, is not so good as something still superior. So all these are comparable and one can exceed the other. Yatha mandalavartinam. What is Srimad Bhagavatam doing by virtue of this conversation? It is trying to generate in the mind of the reader an ample measure of evaluation and dispassion. Evaluation and dispassion. About what? About Aihika and Paratrika achievements. Means what? This worldly and the other worldly achievements, glories and possessions. We always say, for the pursuit of Vedanta, self-realization, two important qualities should be there. One is Viveka, discrimination, to understand the difference between the real and the unreal. The whole world is unreal. It is not lasting, everlasting. The real is only God or the self. Then Vairagya, Ihamutra Phala Bhoga Viragaha. Dispassion towards enjoying any kind of a pleasure or experience either in this world or the other world. Now these two qualities should be cultivated in the mind of everyone. And Srimad Bhagavata tries to cultivate only three items. One is that fondness, supreme devotion to the Lord, equal measure of dispassion to the perishable things of the world, and a right knowledge of what God, world and the self is. Satulyadishayadvamsam. Every attainment is comparable and also excelled by the others. So you cannot say, even with regard to money, people generally say, a rich man having X measure of money, he will not be satisfied. He will say, another man has 2x. So I must exceed him at least by 2.5x. Like that. In the same manner, in the other world also such comparisons and comparability are there. So they are trying to give you a beautiful analysis of what is bhakti, what is virakti, and what is God. Bhaktir, viraktihi, bhagavat prabodhaha. All the three are repeatedly generated and emphasized by Srimad Bhagavatam. Here, I would like to give you some account from the other portions of Srimad Bhagavatam and from the scriptures themselves, Upanishads. Prahlada is describing to his classmates whatever he wants them to know about dharma, artha, kama and moksha.